it slices through the clouds, a titan of steel and stone that has defined the New York City skyline for, nearly a century now? But this isn't just the story of a building. No, it's the story of an impossible dream, built on a bet against history itself.
See, to really get the Empire State Building, you have to go back to the moment it was born. This wasn't just about architecture. It was about ambition on a scale the world had never, ever seen. Conceived at a time when, honestly, ambition seemed totally lost. So let's really get into this, because this question is at the absolute heart of the story. Picture this. The year is 1929. The stock market has just tanked, plunging the entire country into the Great Depression. Banks are failing, fortunes are just vanishing. And right in the middle of all this despair, a group of visionaries asks this wild question. What if we build the tallest building on Earth, right here, right now? And just like that, the stage was set. The magnificent Waldorf Astoria Hotel, it came down to clear the land. All around the city, this fierce race to the sky was already underway. But just as the economy was crumbling, John J. Raskoff and former New York Governor Al Smith made their move. In the face of a total collapse, they announced a building so tall, so audacious, that people literally called them crazy. But for them, it was this profound act of faith in America's future. Construction kicked off on St. Patrick's Day 1930. The race was on. What happened next? Well, it was less a construction project and more like a military operation. I'm talking a symphony of logistics, steel, and just raw human courage, all happening at a speed that is, even today, almost impossible to believe. Okay, get ready for this number. Let it really sink in. The steel framework shot up at a rate of 4.5 stories every single week. Can you imagine that? You look up on a Monday and see a floor that just wasn't there last Wednesday. That was the relentless, unbelievable pace they set. And who were the people who pulled this off? An army of workers. At its peak, we're talking 3,400 souls. Immigrants, locals, specialists, all laboring on this vertical assembly line. It was basically a city within a city, with its own little railroad to move materials, and even restaurants on different levels, so the work never, ever had to stop. And that brings us to maybe the most staggering number of them all. From the very first steel beam to the final rivet, the entire structure was finished in just 410 days. 1 year and 45 days. It was done ahead of schedule and under budget, which is just a miracle of efficiency born from the desperation of the times. This quote just perfectly captures the awe people felt for these unsung heroes, the workers. A lot of them were Irish, Italian, and Mohawk iron workers. And you have photographer Louis Hine, who climbed right out on the beams with them. His breathtaking images transformed these anonymous laborers into American legends, literally spinning a web of steel against the clouds. So, the building was finished. It was the tallest in the world, a true triumph of engineering. But the victory, it felt hollow. The king of the skyline ascended to a very, very lonely throne. And here's the cruel, brutal irony of it all. While the world was celebrating this new wonder, the very same Great Depression that fueled its lightning-fast construction now kept its floors empty. So many offices were vacant that New Yorkers gave it this grim nickname, the Empty State Building. I mean, this global icon was a financial disaster for almost 2 decades. Get this, in its first year, the tourist observation deck made more money than all the office rentals combined. Why? Because in a time of hardship, it was selling something priceless, perspective. It gave people a chance to rise above their troubles, and see the world from a new height. The upper floors, though, they were so deserted that they didn't even bother running the elevators past the 45th story. The building wouldn't actually turn a profit until the early 1950s. But a building like this, it was always destined for more than just commerce. If it couldn't find its soul in spreadsheets and lease agreements, well, it was going to find it in the heart of pop culture. It was about to become a legend. And its legend was literally forged in fire. In July 1945, a B-25 bomber, completely lost in thick fog, slammed directly into the 79th floor. The impact was catastrophic. And yet, the building's steel frame just refused to yield. The damage was bad, for sure, but not critical. And in the ultimate symbol of resilience, the Empire State Building was open for business the very next day. Just incredible. It was really Hollywood that gave the building its true identity. Just 2 years after opening, it became the tragic stage for King Kong.
Later on, it became the ultimate romantic meeting spot in movies like An Affair to Remember and Sleepless in Seattle. Culture is what transformed it from an empty office tower into a global symbol of ambition, of romance, and of the enduring power of New York City itself.
But hey, the story doesn't end there, not in the 20th century. To stay an icon, this Art Deco masterpiece had to be reborn for a new, greener world. Its greatest act of reinvention was still to come. So, in 2009, the building underwent this totally revolutionary energy retrofit. And they didn't just replace things, they re-engineered them. All 6,514 windows were remanufactured into these super windows that are super insulated. The elevators were upgraded with systems that actually generate power on their way down. How cool is that? And smart tech was installed to optimize every single watt of energy used, proving that its innovative spirit was still very much alive.
And the results? They were absolutely stunning. The project slashed the building's energy use by over 38%. That saved millions of dollars and proved that even the biggest, oldest giants can become leaders in sustainability. It literally wrote the playbook for how to make historic buildings green all over the world.
And nowhere is this evolution more visible than in its world-famous lights. Those simple white floodlights from 1964? In 2012, they were replaced with a state-of-the-art LED system. We're talking a system that can produce over 16 million colors and create these spectacular, dynamic light shows that are synchronized to music, painting the skyline in a new way every single night. So, from a Depression-era gamble to a lonely king, a movie star, and a green pioneer, the Empire State Building has become so much more than a landmark. It's the concrete beating heart of the city. I mean, it held the title of the world's tallest building for over 4 decades. That's a record in itself. It's been called the 8th wonder of the world since the day it opened its doors. But more than just a statistic, it stands as this permanent testament to what we're capable of when we dare to build not just for today, but for the future. So now I want to turn this over to you. When you see that silhouette against the sky, what do you feel? Is it ambition, romance, resilience? Drop a comment and let us know what this incredible icon means to you. You know, the story of the Empire State Building is really a call to action. So if this journey inspired you, rise higher and hit that like button. Subscribe as a symbol of your own climb to the top. And share this story. Let it spread like the city lights across the New York night. Thanks for watching.